Ganun, ganun na sir. Para pa.
Wala ka naman na marami.
Para ikaw na lang mag-scroll.
Sa part na ako.
Sa part lang, sir, lang. Ini. Good sa connection. Okay na?
Siguro sa kanya tayo.
Stream na tayo, sir.
Ay, muna yun.
Kami ng connection, trust. Stream lang.
Ito sa nag-ikaw na.
Yes, sir. Nakaw na po. Sabi mo, okay na si Teams. Wala lang din sila nagbaso.
Sa makilala. Ilan pong basahin ko.
Pero sa akin, pero wala.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ay, man na, nag-check. Ano na? Okay na, please. Dapat bring na siya. It's green. Dapat walang drop.
Hindi na tayo mag-attendance. Sa Alex. Same abilities pa rin. First issue. Then can say so malabasan pa.
I'm not sure that you'll program.
So good afternoon everyone. This is the continuation of the previous smart ceremony. So we are in the 11th project. 12 no. 12. So one on GI here. So it is.
Good afternoon po once again. For the 12th project with the contract ID number 26N50102, the project name is Widening of Permanent Bridges Mutian Bridge P00319MN along Bukidnon, Cotabato Road. The project location is at Barangay CARMEN, Cotabato. The contract duration is 812 calendar days. The funding agreement is National Expenditure Program, CY 2026. The infra-type is Bridge, the target length is 341.055, and the unit of measure is per meter. The approved budget for the contract is 37,938,740 with an EL of 774,260. So the total estimated cost is 38,713,000. The description of works to be done for this project, facilities for the engineer, other general requirements, earthworks, public and base courses, bridge construction, drainage and slope protection structures, and miscellaneous structures. For the itemized breakdown, under the facilities for the engineer, we have construction of field office for the engineer. Under the other general requirements, we have permits and clearances, project build order signboard, occupational safety and health program, traffic management, mobilization, and demobilization. Under the earthwork, we have individual removal of trees, 150 to 300 millimeter diameter small, removal of structures and obstruction concrete, structure excavation public soil, embankment from roadway or structure excavation public soil, embankment from barrow public soil. Under the subbase and base courses, we have aggregate subbase course. Under the bridge construction, we have precast concrete piles furnished 400 mm by 400 mm. Precast concrete piles driven, test piles driven 400 mm by 400 mm, splicing of RC piles with epoxy, reinforcing steel grade 40, reinforcing steel grade 60, structural concrete 20.68 MPa class A 14 base, structural concrete 27.58 MPa class A 14 base, pre-stressed structural concrete numbers type 6 I girders, lead concrete class B 16.5 MPa refer to item 901, paint, elastomeric bridge bearings, and forms and culverts. Under the drainage and slope protection structures, we have grouted recraft class A, sheet piles, steel slope protection, and drain ties galvanized. Under the miscellaneous structures, we have metal guardrail, metal gate including post DPWH beam, metal beam and piece fishtail, reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings white, reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings yellow, and papered solar LED road frame lighting 8 meters, 60 watts to 100 watts. The minimum equipment requirement for this project: one bulldozer, one payloader, one motorized road grader, one motorized road grader with slurry flyer, one vibratory loader, one plate compactor, one roller crane, 21 to 25 MT, one roller crane, 36 to 40 MT, one roller crane with bucket, one truck-mounted crane, 31 to 35 MT, one truck-mounted crane, 41 to 45 MT, one truck-mounted crane, 51 to 60 MT, one backhoe with breaker, one diesel hammer, one vibro hammer, one bagger mixer, two transit mixer, two dump truck, one cargo service truck, one cargo truck 9 to 10 MT, one water truck or pump, one air compressor, one welding machine 500A, one welding machine electrical driven, one cutting outfit, one chainsaw, two concrete vibrator, one bar cutter single phase, one bar bender 3-phase, one concrete batch plant, one applicator machine, one drop hammer, one dolly, two jackhammer, one milling machine, and one wood or steel ladder.
For the 13th project, we have a number of 26 MI 0105, completing off-road Santos Street from Rambutan Street to Natsam Street, Barangay POBLACION, CARMEN, Cotabato. Project location, CARMEN, Cotabato. Order of duration, 120 days. Funding agreement, Saling basis, infra life for completing. Target time, 2.4, unit of measure 18 million. Total approved budget for the contract, 27,720,000. DEO, 180,000. And total estimated cost of 28 million. Description of works to be done. We have facilities for the engineer, other general requirements, earthwork, sub-basin base course, surface courses, bridge construction, drainage and slope protection structures, residential structures, and materials detail. Other facilities for the engineer, we have construction of office for the engineer, project billboard, the signboard, occupational safety and health program, traffic management, mobilization and immobilization. Under earthwork, we have clearing and gravity, structure excavation, common site, pipe culvert and drain excavation, common site, embankment from barrow, common site, embankment from roadway or structure excavation, common site, and subgrade preparation, common material. Under sub-basin base course, we have aggregate sub-base course. Under surface courses, we have Portland cement, concrete pavement under reinforced 0.23 meter 14 days. Under bridge construction, we have reinforced steel 14, structural concrete, class B. Under drainage and slope protection structures, we have pipe culverts, 110 millimeter diameter, RCPC, pipe culverts, 1,220 mm diameter, RCPC, touch basin, 910 millimeter diameter, and grounded riprap plastic. Under miscellaneous structures, we have reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings white. Minimum equipment requirement, we have two dump truck, one payloader, one loader, one motorized grader, one vibratory lifter, one water truck or pump, four transit officers, two concrete vibrator, one concrete hot plant, one concrete grader, one concrete saw, one bar cutter, one bar bender, one cargo service truck, one bagger mixer, one plate compactor, one cargo service truck, 550, one applicator machine, 181.
14th project with the contract ID 26MI-0107 The project aim on construction of the diverse building, the civil and facility building to Barangay Poblacion, CARMEN, Cotabato, with the project creation of Barangay Poblacion, CARMEN, Cotabato. Contract duration is 220 calendar days with the funding agreement of the Act 2026. The type is the date, target amount of 1 unit measured in unit. With the total construction cost of 49,500,000, with a DEO of 500,000, and a total estimated cost of 15 million. Works to be done are facilities for the engineer, other general requirements, earthworks, reinforced concrete, finishing other civil works, electrical, and mechanical. Under the facilities for the engineer is the construction of field office for the engineer. Under the other general requirements are permit clearances, the project billboard and signboard, the occupational safety and health, and the mobilization and demobilization. Under the earthworks are the structure excavation, common soil, the embankment from road base to earth excavation, the embankment from borrow, and the gravel fill. Under the reinforced concrete are the structural concrete class A, 28 days, the reinforcing steel deformed grade 40, the reinforcing steel deformed grade 60, and the formworks and falsworks. Under the finishing other civil works are the ceiling 4.5 mm metal frame fiber cement board, the modular partition, the carpentry and joinery works, the correlated far-ended steel door, the tempered glass 12 mm, the glass and glazing, the glass tiles and trims, and glazed tiles, the CHB non-load bearing 100 mm, the CHB non-load bearing with 150 mm, the cement cluster finish, the painting works, masonry concrete, the painting works are steel, the fabricated metal roofing accessory, with a gauge 26, fabricated metal roofing accessories gauge 24, the painted metal sheets, the structural steel for trusses, the structural steel purlins, the metal structure accessory, the punch basin, the sewer line works, the septic valve, the storm drainage and downspout, the plumbing fixtures, and the cold water lines, under electrical or the conduits, boxes and fittings, the wires and wiring devices, the panel board with main and branch breakers, the lighting fixtures, and the pole mounted distribution transformer. Under the mechanical or the generator, the air conditioning, the ventilation, the fire hose cabinet assembly, and the fire alarm system. Minimum equipment requirement: 1 backhoe, 2 dump truck, 1 clay compactor, 1 bagger mixer, 1 more cutter 25 mm maximum rebar diameter, 1 more bender 25 mm maximum rebar diameter 3 base, 2 welding machine, 1 cutting outfit, 1 track mounted crane, and 1 concrete vibrator.
For the 15 project in the compact idea of 2061, 0108 construction of Harvard Church at Barangay Pisan, Kabacan, Cotabato. Project location, Barangay Pisan, Kabacan, Cotabato. With 120 calendar days. Agreement the 2026. Infra type building, target amount 1, unit measure unit. With an approved budget of the contract with 4,950,000. With a DEO of 50,000, and the project component cost is 5 million. The description of works to be done, facilities for the engineer, other general requirements, earthwork, reinforced concrete, finishing and other civil works, electrical. Under facilities for the engineer, we have construction of field office for the engineer. Under other general requirements, we have permits and clearances, project labor or signboard, occupational safety and health, mobilization or demobilization. Under earthwork, we have structural excavation common soil, embankment from roadway or structure excavation common soil, embankment from barrow common soil, ground field. Under reinforced concrete, we have structural concrete class A, 28 days, reinforcing steel deformed grade 40, reinforcing steel deformed grade 60, reinforcing steel or flame or round, Formworks and falseworks. Under finishing and other civil works, we have ceiling, 4.5 mm metal frame, fiber cement board, fabricated metal looping instruments gauge 26, 0.5.1 mm raised or heat rolls, pre-painted metal sheet above 0.27 mm, corrugated type low span, cement cluster finish, painting works, masonry or concrete, painting works steel, THB non-load bearing including reinforcing steel 100 mm, metal structure accessories, structural steel trusses, structural steel purlins, under electrical we have conduits, boxes and fittings, conduit works or conduit roughing, wires and wiring devices, panel main and branch breakers and lighting pictures. For the minimum equipment requirement, you have one backhoe, one bar bender, one bar cutter, one concrete vibrator, two dump truck, one cutting outfit, one bobber mixer, one lead compactor, one truck mounted crane, and two welding machine.
For the 16 project, we have contract ID number 26M0109, Station of Public Health at Barangay-Lampayan, Matalam-LAMPAYAN. Project location, Barangay-Lampayan, Matalam-Cotabato. Contract duration, we have 130 calendar days. Funding agreement, blood and resources. Infra-type, linking, target amount, 1, to measure total budget, total approved budget for the contract is 4,950,000. DEO of 2,000. Total close to 5 million. The description refers to the customer. It is for the engineer. Other general requirements, earthwork, reinforced concrete, finishing and other civil works, electrical and mechanical. The facilities for the engineer, we have construction of clean office for the engineer. Under other general requirements, we have permits and clearances, project billboard or signboard, occupational safety and health, mobilization or demobilization. Under earthwork, we have removal of structures and construction, structure excavation of the joint, involvement from roadway or structure excavation of the joint, involvement from barrow of the joint, gravity tree. Under reinforced concrete, we have structural concrete, class A, reinforced steel, reinforcing, and formworks and boltworks. Under finishings and other civil works, we have catch basin, sewer line works, storm drainage and downspout, plumbing fixtures, old water lines, ceiling 4.5 millimeter metal frame, fiber cement board, aluminum glass windows, wooden doors and windows, fabricated metal doors accessory, gauge 26, flashing, fabricated metal roofing accessory, gauge 4 colors, pre-painted metal sheet about 0.427 millimeter, corrugated type, transparent, glaze tiles and frames, and glaze tiles, floor treating, plain, cement plaster finishing, painting works, masonry or concrete, painting works, texture finish, CHB non-loading bearing, metal structure accessories, structural steel, trusses, structural steel purlins. Under electrical, we have conduits, boxes and fittings, wires and wiring devices, panel board with main and branch breakers, and lighting fixtures. Under mechanical, we have ventilating equipment. Minimum equipment requirement, we have one backhoe, one bar bender, one bar cutter, 25 mm maximum rebar, single phase, one concrete vibrator, flexible strap type 2-inch head with 5 amperes guide unit, two dump truck, one jackhammer, one vaulting outfit, one bagger mixer, one click compactor, one truck mounted crate, standard lattice boom, and two welding machine, electrical driven.
For the 17th project with the contract ID number 26NI0110, the project name is completion or rehabilitation of multi-purpose building covered court in Barangay Lower Paatan, KABACAN, Cotabato, 7.08613.124.8311987. The project location is at Barangay Bulkaatan, KABACAN, Cotabato. The contract duration is 120 calendar days. The funding agreement is valid until 2026. The infra type is building, target amount is 1, and the limit of measure is unit. The approved budget for the contract is 4,950,000 with an EL of 50,000, so the total estimated cost is 5 million pesos. The description of works to be done for this project are facilities for the engineer, other general requirements, earthwork, reinforced concrete, finishings and other civil works, and electric fiber. The itemized breakdown. Under the facilities for the engineer, we have construction of road engineer. Under the other general requirements, we have permits and clearances, project lead border signboard, occupational safety and health, and mobilization or demobilization. Under the earthworks, we have removal of structures and obstruction, structure excavation common soil, embankment from roadway or structure excavation common soil, embankment from borrow common soil, and gravel gate. Under the reinforced concrete, we have structural concrete, class A to grade, reinforcing steel deformed grade 40, and formworks and works. Under the finishings and other civil works, we have path basins, PHD, river line works, storm drainage and downspout, septic vault or tank, concrete facility, plumbing fixtures, cold water lines, ceiling 4.5 mm metal frame, fiber cement board, aluminum glass windows, wooden doors and windows, fabricated metal, roofing accessory gauge 26 0.551 mm flashing, fabricated metal roofing accessory gauge 24 0.701 mm cutters, pre-painted metal sheets above 0.47 mm corrugated type long span, glazed tiles and trims, unglazed tiles, cement plaster finish, painting works masonry or concrete, painting works steel, textured finish, CHD manual bearing including reinforcing steel 100 mm, metal structure accessories, structural steel trusses, and structural steel trellis. Under the electrical, we have conduits, buckling and fitting conduit works, unit boxes, wires and wiring devices, panel board with main and branch breakers, and lighting fixtures. For the minimum equipment requirement, we have one backhoe, one bar bender, one bar cutter, one concrete vibrator, two dump truck, one jackhammer, one concrete cutting outfit, one bagger mixer, one plate compactor, one truck mounted frame, 21 to 25 MP, and two welding machines. For the aided project, the contract ID 26M-111 with the project name of construction / completion of daycare center at Barangay Kabayaman, Balisinan, Cotabato. Project location is at Barangay Kabayaman, Balisinan, Cotabato with a contract duration of 100 calendar days with the funding agreement under General Appropriation Act 2026 with a different type of building, target amount is 1, and unit of measure is unit. With a total construction cost of 2,970,000 with an EL of 30,000 with a total estimated cost of 3 million. Works to be done are facilities for the engineer, other general requirements, earthwork, reinforced concrete, finishing and other civil works, electrical and mechanical. For other the facilities for the engineer is the construction of field office for the engineer. Under the other general requirements are the permits and clearances, the project billboard and signboard, the occupational safety and health, and the mobilization and mobilization. Under the earthwork or the removal of structure and construction, the structure excavation, the embankment from roadway, structure excavation, the embankment from barrow, and the gravel field. Under the reinforced concrete is the structural concrete class 28 days, the reinforced steel deformed grade 40, and the formworks and false works. Under the finishing and other civil works are the patch basin concrete, sewer line works, the storm drainage and downspout, the septic vault tank concrete, the plumbing work fixtures, the cold water lines, the ceiling 4.5 mm metal frame fiber cement board, the ceiling metal frame protected metal panel, the carpet and joinery works, the aluminum glass windows, the wooden doors and windows, the fabricated metal roofing accessories, page 24, the perforated metal sheets, long span corrugated type, the glazed tiles and trims, the unglazed tiles, cement plaster finish, the painting works, masonry concrete, the painting works for steel, the reflective insulation, the aluminum cladding, the CHV non-load bearing 100 mm, the CHV non-load bearing 150 mm, the metal structure accessories, the structural steel for trusses, and the structural steel for curtains. Under the electrical are the conduits, boxes and fittings, the wires and wire devices, the funnel board with main and branch breakers, and the lighting fixtures. Under the mechanical are the oscillating fan, the fire extinguisher, and the fire alarm system. For the minimum equipment requirements are one backhoe, one bar bender, one bar cutter, one concrete vibrator, one cutting outfit, two dump truck, one bagger mixer, one plate compactor, one truck mounted crane, lattice boom, and two welding machines.
For the 19th project, the contract ID of units my 0112. The project name of construction of multipurpose building, police and fire substation in Barangay Banayan, Tulunan, Cotabato, 6.848724, 124.981747. Project location Barangay Banayan, Tulunan, Cotabato. With a contract duration of 150 calendar days. Funding agreement, General Appropriation Act 2026. Infra-type building, target amount 1, unit of measure unit. With an approved budget of the contract, 9,900,000, EAW of 100,000, and estimated project component cost of 10 million. Description of works to be done, facilities for the engineer, other general requirements, earthwork, reinforced concrete, finishing other civil works, electrical and mechanical. Under facilities for the engineer, we have construction of windows for the engineer. Under other general requirements, we have permits and clearances, project billboard and signboard, occupational safety and health, mobilization or demobilization. Under earthwork, we have excavation common soil, embankment from roadway or structure excavation common soil, embankment from barrow common soil, gravel fields. Under reinforced concrete, we have structural concrete plus complete base, reinforcing steel deformed grade 40, formworks and falseworks. Under finishing and other civil works, we have basic, concrete, sewer line works, storm drain and downspout, septic vault or tank, concrete or CHB, plumbing fixtures, cold water line, sailing 4.5 mm metal frame, fiber cement board, sailing metal frame, repeating metal panel, aluminum glass windows, wooden doors and windows, fabricated metal accessories gauge 24.701 mm batter, repeated metal sheets long span corrugated type above 0.27 mm, base tiles in place, and base tile, repeated granite tiles, cement plaster finish, painting works masonry or concrete, painting works steel, reflective insulation, aluminum cladding, CHB non-load bearing including reinforcing steel 100 mm, CHB non-load bearing including reinforcing steel 150 mm, metal structure accessories, structural steel trusses, structural steel purlins, under electrical we have conduits, vacuum fittings, conduit works or conduit housing, wires and wiring devices, panel board with main and branch breakers, lighting fixtures. Under mechanical we have oscillating fan or semi fan, fire extinguisher 9.07 kg ABC bracket, and fire alarm system. For the minimum equipment requirement, we have one backhoe, one bar bender, one bar cutter, one concrete vibrator, one cutting outfit, two dump truck, one bagger mixer, one plate compactor, one truck mounted crane, and two welding machine.
In the project, we have 65013 vision or rehabilitation of multipurpose building for City of Centro, Barangay Taguranao, MATALAM-LAMPAYAN. Project location, Barangay Taguranao, MATALAM-LAMPAYAN. Calculation 130 calendar days. Funding agreement 2026. Prototype will be Target amount 1, unit measure unit. Total approved budget for the contract, we have 4,950,000 with an DEO of 50,000 and a total estimated cost of 5 million. Description of works to be done by facilities for the engineer, other general requirements, earthwork, reinforced concrete, finishings, and other civil works, electrical and mechanical. Other facilities for the engineer, we have construction field office for the engineer. Under other general requirements, we have permits, clearances, project billboard or signboard, occupational safety and health, mobilization and demobilization. Under earthwork, we have removal of structure and obstruction, structure excavation, common soil, embankment from roadway or structure excavation, common soil, embankment from barrow, common soil, and gravel field. Under reinforced concrete, we have structural concrete, class A, reinforced steel, default 340, formworks and posters. Under finishings and other civil works, we have patch basic, CHP, sewer line, storm drainage and downspout, plumbing fixtures, cold water lines, ceiling 4.5 mm metal frame fiber cement board, aluminum glass windows, wooden doors and windows, fabricated metal roofing accessory H26, flashing, fabricated metal roofing accessory H24 gutters, three painted metal sheets, corrugated tile block span, glazed tiles on bricks, unglazed tiles, cement plaster finish, painting works, masonry or concrete, painting works, steel, texture finish, CHP non-loading bearing, including reinforced steel 100 mm, metal structural accessories, structural steel trusses, structural steel furnace. Under electrical, we have conduits, boxes, and fittings, wires and wiring devices, panel board we made in branch breakers, and lighting fixtures. Under mechanical, we have maintenance equipment. Minimum equipment requirement, we have one backhoe, one bar bender, one bar cutter, one complete vibrator, two dump truck, one jackhammer, one cutting outfit, one power mixer, one brake compactor, one truck mounted crane, standard lattice tool, and two welding machine.
For the 21 project with a contract ID number 26MI0114, the project name is Construction, Completion of Multi-Purpose Building, Covered Court, Barangay New Panay, Pulunan, Cotabato, 6.85187, 124.932762. The project location is at Barangay New Panay, Pulunan, Cotabato. The contract duration is 130 calendar days. The funding activity is as for 2026. The infra type is building. The target amount is 1, and the unit of measure is unit. The approved budget for the contract is 4,950,000 with an EO of 50,000. So the total estimated cost is 5 million pesos. The description of work to be done for this project, you have facilities for engineer, other general requirements, earthwork, reinforced concrete, finishings and other civil works, electrical and mechanical. The IT manager breakdown. Under the facilities for the engineer, construction of steel office for the engineer. Under the other general requirements, we have permits and clearances, project billboard or signboard, occupational safety and health, and mobilization or demobilization. Under the earthwork, you have structure excavation common soil, embankment from roadway or structure excavation common soil, embankment from barrow common soil, and gravel field. Under the reinforced concrete, you have structural concrete, class A 28 days, reinforcing steel deformed, grade 40, and formworks and falseworks. Under the finishings and other civil works, you have catch basins, CHP, sewer line works, storm drainage and downspout, plumbing fixtures, cold water lines, ceiling 4.5 mm metal frame, fiber cement board, ceiling metal frame, pre-painted metal panel, aluminum glass windows, wooden doors and windows, fabricated metal roofing accessory gauge 26 0.551 mm flashing, fabricated metal roofing accessory gauge 24 0.701 mm gutters, pre-painted metal sheets above 0.427 mm corrugated tile long span, glazed tiles and trims, unglazed tiles, synthetic granite tiles, floor tapping plain, cement plaster finish, painting works masonry or concrete, painting works steel, textured finish, aluminum cladding, CHV non-load bearing including reinforcing steel 100 mm, CHV non-loading CHP non-load bearing including reinforcing steel 150 millimeter, metal structure accessories, structural steel trusses, and structural steel kernels. Under the electrical, we have conduits, bucket openings, conduit bursts, conduit drop-in, wires and wiring devices, panel boards with main and branch breakers, and light switch features. Under the mechanical, we have ventilators. For the minimum equipment requirement for this project, one backhoe, one bar tender, one bar cutter, one concrete vibrator, two dump truck, one jackhammer, one factory outlet, one bugger mixer, one plate compactor, one truck mounted crane, and two welding machines. For our 22 project with the contract ID 26MI0116, the project name of construction of multipurpose facility. Barangay Poblacion, Tudunan, Cotabato. Comma 6.827.386, 124.877.497 to the project location of Barangay Poblacion, Tudunan, Cotabato, with the contract duration of 195 calendar days, with the funding agreement of Box 2026, with a different type of building, target amount is 1, and unit of measure is unit. The total construction cost is 16,830,000, with the EO of 170,000, with a total estimated cost of 17 million. Works to be done are the facilities for the engineer, the other general requirements, the earthworks, the reinforced concrete, the finishing other civil works, and the electrical. Under the facilities for the engineer, it is the construction of field office for the engineer. Under the other general requirements are the permits and clearances, the project overhead signboard, the occupational safety health, and the mobilization and demobilization. Under the earthworks are the structure excavation, common soil, the embankment from roadways or structure excavation, common soil, the embankment from barrow, common soil, and the gravel fill. Under the reinforced concrete are the structural concrete class A28 glaze, the reinforced thin steel deformed grade 40, the reinforcing steel deformed grade 60, the reinforcing steel plain or round bars, and the formworks and false works. Under the finishing other civil works are the ceiling, 4.5 mm metal frame fiber cement board, the wall with 6 mm metal frame fiber cement board, the wooden doors and windows, the glaze tiles and trims, the unglazed tiles, the CHB non-load bearing including reinforcing steel with 100 mm, the CHB non-load bearing including reinforcing steel with 150 mm, the cement plaster finish, the plating works under the masonry concrete, the plating works for steel, the fabricated metal roofing accessory gauge 26, bridge and hip rows, the fabricated metal roofing accessory gauge 24 for gutters, the correlated metal sheets with correlated long span, the structural steel for the candles, the structural steel for the purlins, the metal structure and accessories, the cut basin, CHBs, the sewer line works, the septic vault pack CHB, floor drainage and downspout, the plumbing fixtures, and the cold water lines. Under the electrical are the conduits, incessant fittings, the wires and wiring devices, the panel board with main and branch breakers, the lighting fixtures, the pole mounted distribution transformer, the generator, 3 phase standby. The minimum equipment requirements are 1 backhoe, 2 dump truck, 1 plate compactor with 5 horsepower, 1 bagger mixer, 1 bar cutter 25 mm bar diameter, single phase, the 1 bar bender 25 mm bar diameter, 3 phase, the 2 welding machine, 1 cutting outfit, 1 truck mounted crane standard that is boom, and 1 counterweighter mechanical chop type.
For the 23rd project, the contract ID of 0117, construction of multi-purpose facility in Barangay Sinsin, Tudunan, Cotabato, comma 6.82245 124.895962. Project location Barangay Sinsin, Tudunan, Cotabato. Contract duration of 130 calendar days. Funding agreement, General Project Act 2026. Infra type, target amount 1 millimeter units. Approved budget for the contracts 4,950,000 with a layout of 60,000 Project component cost 5 million. Description of works to be done, facilities for the engineer, other general requirements, earthwork, reinforced concrete, finishing and other civil works, electrical. Under facilities for the engineer, we have construction of field office for the engineer, other general requirements, we have permits and clearances, project billboard or signboard, occupational safety and health, mobilization or demobilization. Under earthwork, we have structural excavation common soil, embankment from barrow roadway or structural excavation common soil, embankment from barrow common soil, gravel field. Under reinforced concrete, we have structural concrete, class A 20 days, reinforcing steel deform grade 40, and formworks and false. Under finishing and other civil works, we have cuts basins HB, storm drainage and downspout, ceiling 4.5 mm metal frame fiber cement board, fabricated metal roofing, accessories edge 26 0.551 mm, flashing, fabricated metal roofing accessories edge 24 0.701 mm gutters, pre-painted metal sheets above 0.27 mm, corrugated type no span, cement plaster finish, fitting works and masonry or concrete, fitting work steel, textured finish, CHB non-log bearing including reinforcing steel 100 mm, metal structure accessories, structural steel chassis, structural steel purlins, under electrical we have conduits, boxes, and fixtures, conduit works or conduit routing, wires and wiring devices, panel board with main and branch breakers, lighting fixtures. For minimum equipment requirement, we have one backhoe, one bar bender, one bar cutter, one concrete fabricator, two dump truck, one cutting outfit, one bagger, mixer, one plate compactor, one truck mounted crane, and two winding machines.
For the 24th project, with the contract ID number of 26MI0118, construction of solar water supply system, Barangay West Patadon, Matalam-Cotabato. Project location, Barangay West Patadon, Matalam-Cotabato. Contract duration, 120 calendar days. Funding agreement, 2026. Infrared water supply system, target amount 1, unit could measure unit. Total approved budget for the contract, we have 4,150,000, with an EO of 50,000, and total estimated cost of 5 million. Description of works to be done, facilities for the engineer, other general requirements, earthwork, reinforced concrete, finishings and other civil works, electrical, mechanical, and water supply. Under facilities for the engineer, we have construction of field office for the engineer. Under other general requirements, permits and clearances, project billboard or signboard, occupational safety and health, mobilization or demobilization. Under earthwork, we have structural excavation, common site, embankment from road grading or structural excavation, common site, embankment from barrow, common site, and gravel. Reinforced concrete, we have structural concrete class A, reinforced steel, with 40, formworks and walls. Under finishings and other civil works, we have pipes and fittings connection, floor drain plates, 75 millimeter diameter stainless. Fabricated metal roofing accessory, gauge 26, bridge for roofing, fully painted metal sheets, above 0.427 millimeter corrugated type, long span. Waterproofing, cement base, unglazed ties, cement cluster finish, painting works, masonry or concrete, painting works, steel, CHP non-loading bearing, including reinforcing steel 100 mm, metal structural accessories, structural steel trusses, structural steel purlins. Under electrical, we have solar panel with inverter, battery, and other devices, and lighting fixtures. Under mechanical, we have water pumping system, submersible sump pump with some roll. Under water supplies, we have polyethylene plastic pipe and valve. Under minimum equipment requirement, we have one backhoe, one bar bender, 28 mm maximum rebar diameter, 3 phase, one bar cutter to 25 mm maximum rebar diameter, grade 40, single phase, one boom truck, one cargo truck, one concrete vibrator, one drilling rig, two dump truck, one cutting outfit, one bagger mixer, one plate compactor, one truck mounted crane, standard lattice, and one welding machine. two welding machine, electrical and electric.
So for the 25th project with the contract ID number 226MI0119, the project name is construction of solar water supply system, Sitio Tuburan, Barangay Bunawan, Tulunan, Cotabato. The project location is at Barangay Bunawan, Tulunan, Cotabato. The contract duration is 120 calendar days. The funding agreement is SHA by 2026. The infra type is water supply system. The target amount of 1. The unit of measure is the approved budget for the contract is 4,950,000 with an EL of 50,000, so the total estimated cost is 5 million. The description of work to be done for this project, we have facilities for the engineer, other general requirements, earthwork, reinforced concrete, finishings of other civil works, electrical, mechanical, and water supply. For the itemized breakdown, under the facilities for the engineer, we have construction of field office for the engineer. Under the other general requirements, we have permits and clearances, project billboard on signboard, occupational safety and health, and mobilization or demobilization. Under the earthwork, we have clearing and grounding, structure excavation common soil, embankment from roadway or structure excavation common soil, embankment from barrow common soil, and gravel field. Under the reinforced concrete, we have structural concrete class A 28 grades, reinforcing steel, deformed grade 14, and formworks and fault works. Under the finishings and other civil works, we have pipes with fittings connection, floor drain plates 75 mm diameter stainless, fabricated metal roofing accessory gauge 26 0.551 mm ridge or kid rolls, pre-painted metal sheets above 0.427 mm corrugated type long span, waterproofing cement base, and glazed tiles, cement plaster finish, painting works masonry or concrete, painting works steel, CHB non-load bearing including reinforcing steel 100 mm, metal structure accessories, structural steel trusses, and structural steel curls. Under the electrical, we have solar panel with inverter, battery, and other devices, and lighting fixtures. Under mechanical, we have water pumping system, submersible sump pump with control. And then under the water supply, we have polyethylene plastic pipe and bulb. For the minimum equipment requirements for the project, 1 backhoe, 1 bar bender, 1 bar cutter, 1 boom truck, 1 cargo truck, 1 concrete vibrator, 1 drilling rig, 2 dump truck, 1 cutting outfit, 1 bagger mixer, 1 plate compactor, 1 truck mounted crane 21 to 25 MP, and 2 welding machines.
So you will have to see with the requirements.
Now we can now balik mo natin. Click no? Okay, Mr. Chair, good afternoon. So, for the additional announcements and instruction, so bid documents are wala. Wala sir, kinawala sa PowerPoint ko. Wala. Wala na pindot. Wala. Nagpunta siya sa moment. Thank you. Magigan. One, two, three, yes, one. Okay, once again, good afternoon, Mr. Chair, back members in attendance, back PWG, back secretariat, and viewers. So here are some additional announcements and instruction. So our bid documents deadline of submission is on August 4, 2026 at exactly 10 o'clock in the morning, and afterwards the bid opening will commence. So as much as possible prior to pre-bid conference or bid opening, make sure that the participating bidders have already signified their intent with the request for expression of interest, formerly known as letter of intent, submitted to our office before we will be conducting a joint ocular inspection with personnel from the PDS or the Planning and Design Section, and be issued with a bid tender from the procurement unit from us, and an order of payment from the finance section, then after which payment will be done in the cash unit. The participating bidders, they need to conduct a joint ocular inspection with the DPWH personnel on the proposed site for them to validate the said location with comparison to the plan and POW, and to submit afterwards an affidavit of site inspection duly notarized. So, clear naman po doon na kailangan nyo ring i-validate yung site, and also you need to compare as to the plan and plan at saka yung bidocs natin na na-download during sa advertisement period. Then processing of CWA electronic eligibility will be simultaneously done. So meaning after 10 o'clock in the morning, we will no longer accept bid documents to be submitted since the deadline was already set, the time, and the date. So, ito po yung ating procurement or Philippine bidding documents. Ang first page niya, yung may first edition May 2025. Tsaka sa second page is the procurement of infrastructure projects. Nakalagay doon yung contract ID at saka yung title ng project. Sumunod po itong technical component envelope. So, pakitingnan pong mabuti. Ito po yung magiging parang checklist natin, mga requirements, no? Sa legal documents, technical, at saka yung financial document under sa technical component envelope, class A. Pag class B naman, ito po yung patungkol doon sa joint venture agreement, meaning nagkakaroon po ng special pickup license. Kasi nagkakaroon ng partnership between the capable partner and the one interested to join na hindi capable, kaya nagkakaroon ng call of friend. Then sa pangalawang envelope, yung financial component envelope, andun po yung bid form, price schedules, and certificate of domestic preferences, then duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities or the breakdown, then recurring and maintenance cost if applicable. Sumunod po, dito na po tayo sa i-elaborate ko na pong maigi yung technical component envelope. So, part of the legal document, unang requirement doon is yung valid PhilJEPS registration certificate, which is a platinum membership for all pages in accordance with Section 20 of the IRR of Republic Act number 12009. So, it must be valid at the time of the bid opening, hindi siya expired, and it shall be signed per page. Pakatandaan po yung tungkol sa platinum membership na PhilJEPS registration certificate po natin. Yung pangalawang legal documents is updated general information sheet reflecting the beneficial ownership information duly submitted to the SEC in accordance with its annual reportorial requirements. Ito po ay patungkol doon sa mga corporation at saka incorporation na kung saan nagkakaroon po tayo ng beneficial ownership information na kailangan pong ma-declare. For the purpose po na maiwasan na po natin yung naglalaban-laban na pare-pareho lang pala yung mga owner, iba-iba lang yung mga license. No? So, yun ang significance doon sa pag-require nitong GIS at saka yung BOI. The original document referred to must have an acknowledgement sheet from the Securities and Exchange Commission, and the submitted copy shall be signed per page. Pangatlo is statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started. So, kailangan pong may-declare natin, masimilar man siya o hindi, lahat ng ongoing contracts po natin, government at saka private contracts, even yung awarded but not yet started. No? Kasi gagamitin po siya during sa computation ng ating NFCC. So, whether it is similar or not in nature and the complexity to the contract to be bid. Yung pangapat po is statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract or the SLCC. Similar to the contract to be bid. Ito po yung kaibahan niya, no? Doon sa ongoing government and private contracts. Si SLCC is kailangan similar to the contract to be bid. Except under conditions provided for section 52.4.1.3 and 52.4.1.4 of the IRR of RA 12009 within the relevant period as provided in the bidding document. So, I will further elaborate these technical documents as we go along. Yung panglima is original copy of the bid security, if in the form of a surety bond, submitted also a certification issued by the Insurance Commission or original copy of notarized bid securing declaration. So, mostly naman sa mga contractors natin ay gumagamit po ng insurance or yung surety bonds, no? Bonds. So, yun siya, kakibat ng bonds ay yung certification ng Insurance Commission. Pang-anim, original duly signed omnibus sworn statement, OSS, in accordance with section 54.3 of the IRR of RA 12009 and if applicable, original notarized secretary certificate in case of a corporation, partnership, or cooperative, or original special power of attorney of all members of the joint venture giving full power and authority to each officer to sign the OSS and do acts to represent the bidder. So ito po siya ay 11 statements na po. So earlier this morning nagkaroon kami ng bid opening. May isang participating bidder na hindi nakakomply sa prescribed form ng OSS natin ay na automatic na disqualify po. Pito, the prospective bidder computation of net financial contracting capacity or the NFCC or a committed line of credit from a universal or commercial bank in lieu of its NFCC computation. So ito na yung sinabi ko na kanina na nag-connect siya doon sa declared ongoing government and private contracts natin. Kasi doon sa list of ongoing projects or list of ongoing contracts, sa dulo noon sa tabulated form, nakapaloob doon yung value of outstanding works, which is very relevant dahil ang total noon ay gagamitin sa formula ng pag-compute ng NFCC. So the formula provided under section 52.4.1.4 of the IRR of RA 12009 shall be followed. Sa Class B document naman, under pa rin sa technical component envelope, yung financial document, if applicable, a duly signed joint venture agreement or the GVA, in case the joint venture is already in existence. So nagkakaroon lang po tayo ng GVA or ng joint venture agreement if ever yung magpa-participate po ay hindi kakayanin ng kanyang license and he needs to have a backup na capable po na contractor. So kaya nagkakaroon po ng joint venture agreement at the same time kakaroon din po ng special PCAB license. And also, it could be duly notarized statement from all the potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provisions of the GVA in the instance that the bid is successful. So yun siya sa Class B document. Still, proceed tayo sa financial component envelope. So ito naman po yung requirements sa ating financial component envelope. Nakahiwalay po ito siya sa technical component envelope. Original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form. Then original of duly signed and accomplished price schedule. So yung dalawa na yun ay very significant na mga documents at kailangan po naka-original copy siya. So other documentary requirements under RA 12009 as applicable, kung applicable lang po. For foreign bidders claiming by reason of their country's extension of reciprocal rights to Filipinos, certification from the relevant government office of the country stating that Filipinos are allowed to participate in government procurement activities for the same item or product. And another is certification from the DTI if the bidder claims preference as a domestic bidder or domestic entity. So, palaliman po natin. Ito na po yung sample ng ating omnibus sworn statement. Kung titingnang maigi, pakisuri na lang po, nasa 11 statements na po tayo paglabas po ng 12009 Republic Act, no? So, pag ang ginamit ninyo is yung luma hanggang 10 or hanggang 9, hindi na po siya prescribed form. So, that would be a ground for disqualification. So this form should be duly signed by the authorized representative, should be notarized, and original copy of the omnibus sworn statement. Ito naman po, yung pangalawang form is bid securing declaration. Yung nag-opo tayo na true bonding company, no? So bid security, yung sinasubmit natin. So this form should be duly signed by the authorized signatory and also notarized. And as well, original copy of the bid securing declaration. So hindi po siya dapat photocopy. So dapat yung isasubmit po natin ay original copy po. Sumunod po itong statement of ongoing government and private contracts. So I will elaborate further. Ito po siya ay duly signed by the authorized representative. Kailangan specific kung ano yung pong hinihingi doon sa mga forms, no? Like the name of the contract, owner's name and address, date of contract, contract duration, nature of work, and contractor's role, consistent with the supporting documents. So ito siya, yung statement of all ongoing projects or contracts, no? Mga government man or private contracts. So supporting documents and the technical component is not required during the bid opening. However, during the conduct of post-qualification, the original copies of the supporting documents shall be presented. So mayroon na po tayong 5 araw para may present po yung mga attachments na yon. So kung sa palagay nyo, kailangan nyo nang isubmit during sa bid opening pa lang, much better po. But then, kung may mga kailangang i-update, like for example, may mga ibang document doon na about to expire during sa bid opening, tapos pagdating ng post-qualification is nag-expire na, hahanapin po yan ng ating back DPWH to be presented to them na nag-renew po tayo or nag-update na po tayo. So supporting documents are the notice of award, contract agreement, notice to proceed, certificate of accomplishment from project owner or representative on ongoing projects. And all the data forms shall be correct and consistent. Then the bidder shall submit the original copy of the statement of all the ongoing government and private contracts. So, yun siya, no? Kung titingnan ninyo doon sa PhilGIP certificate natin po, doon po yung sa Annex A, 5 po yun. So, yung 5 na yun is hindi naman siya mandatory during sa bid opening. But then, during sa post-qualification, kailangan pong mai-present natin. Next is the statement of single largest completed contract or the SLCC. So this form should be duly signed by the authorized representative. Specific pa rin po kung ano pong nire-require. At saka, andun po no, ang importante dito sa SLCC, especially kung nagkaroon po tayo ng GVA, yung sa contractor's role, description, no? So, ilang percentage ba yung contractor A, ilang percentage yung si contractor B? Kasi, nagkakaroon po ng sharing of percentage sa role ng contractor since yung participating bidder na gustong sumali ay hindi siya capable kaya nagkakaroon po ng partner na capable. So, the actual total contract value at completion shall meet the required experience of having completed SLCC that is similar to the project, equivalent to at least 50% of the ABC. So, similar in nature at saka 50% ng ABC. So, madali lang naman yan, no? Titingnan natin yung amount ng ABC. Ang kalahati noon, dapat pasok tayo doon. Kung kalahati at more than, mas maigi. Pero pag less than 50%, magre-reflect po yan doon sa CWA pa lang kung may na-accomplish po tayo na ganon, no? Kung hindi naman, kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng GBA or Joint Venture Agreement. So, SLCC should be a completed project. SLCC shall be supported with a certificate of final acceptance for official receipt or sales invoice issued by the owner. So, dito sa SLCC natin, malaki po ang role ng ating final acceptance, certificate of final acceptance, saka yung certificate of final completion, no? So, part yan siya ng mga attachments doon sa ating SLCC. All the data on the form shall be correct and consistent. Bidders shall submit the original copy of the statement of the bidder's SLCC. This form should also be duly signed by the authorized representative. So, nabanggit ko na kanina, the bidders must have completed a single contract that is similar to this project, equivalent to at least 50% of the ABC. Then, ito naman po yung mukha ng ating bid form. So, pakitingnan maigi ano yung mga particulars na dapat ma-supply. And importantly, this form should be duly signed by the authorized representative. Tsaka original copy rin po siya, ang bid form. Then, in case of no discount offered, bidder shall write in A or not applicable. So, yung discount po natin ay nasa sa inyo po yan kung in words, in amount, in figures, or any methodology na nagkakaroon po ng offer ng discount. Ito naman po yung ating corporate or corporation na sworn affidavit of eligibility and beneficial ownership. So, ito po siya, nakapaloob naman sa RA 12009 natin na yung mandated na kailangan mag-comply nito, yung mga corporation at saka incorporation po. No? So, pakicheck po yung mabuti yung form, isupply ang dapat masupply, at naka-notarize po ito. Punta naman tayo sa common reasons of disqualification. So, pakatandaan na lang po, non-submission of any of the required documents and the technical and financial component of the bid is a disqualification. Non-declaration of all ongoing contracts. So, shall we say, hindi namin totally malalaman. But then, magpapalo up po kami, magkakaroon po ng performance track record doon sa mga contractors, papadala namin yung ibang mga DEOs, even sa LGU po. So, pag na-found out po ng back TWG natin na may mga projects kayo na hindi na-declare, which is ongoing pa. So, ground for disqualification siya in the sense na nagiging dishonest po kayo. At yung effect po nun is na hindi na po tama yung computation natin sa NFCC natin. So, yun po siya, kaya nagiging grounds for disqualification siya. Declaration of SLCC not contracted or completed. So, meaning, yung natapos mo na project is yun ang magiging basis na ma-experience ka sa ganong mga experience na project. No? So, kailangan contracted at saka completed ng firm ninyo. So, pag hindi, grounds for disqualification din siya. Falsification of document in the bid submission is also a ground for disqualification. Some pages are not signed or initialed, also a ground for disqualification. Failure to indicate or comply where it is required in technical specifications is also a ground for disqualification. Failure to integrate the bid bulletin in the technical specification or failure to attach a signed copy of the bid bulletin is also a ground for disqualification. So, dapat tingnan mabuti yung mga websites po natin, the PhilJeps and the DPWH websites. Kung may nakapost po tayo na bid bulletin at saka supplemental bid bulletin, kailangan mai-attach din po during sa bid opening. Meaning, updated po kayo at alam ninyo na may mga amendments po na nangyayari or may mga changes ng schedule ng bid opening. So, ito po ay titingnan din po ng ating back TWG, magiging grounds for disqualification pag hindi po na-integrate yung mga ganun po na mga requirement. Then, incorrect submission of the omnibus sworn statement. Ito po, no? So, bago na po siya, hindi na po yung 9 statements or 10 statements, kundi 11 statements na po, yung prescribed form natin as per RA 12009. So, bago na rin siya. So, pag hindi natin nasundan yung tamang format, grounds for disqualification siya. Expired Platinum PhilJeps registration is outright disqualification din po. Then, non-submission of proof of ownership as specified in the bidding documents. So, kung nag-pledge tayo doon sa equipment natin ng DEO9 and DEO58, yung pledge na manpower at saka ng equipment. Kung ano po yung naka-tabulated po ng mga equipment na na-pledge natin in compliance doon sa minimum equipment requirements, pag wala pong proof of ownership or walang lease contract na nakapalagay doon, supporting documents, ay magiging grounds for disqualification din po siya. So, ito na po, lininawin ko po, yung envelopes are composed of 3 sub-envelopes. Dalawang original document, kasi nga po isa sa amin, isa sa papunta sa COA, and 1 copy na copy 1 or photocopied para po sa end user natin. So, 3 envelopes lahat, no? Main envelopes. Then, nakapaloob doon sa main envelopes natin yung dalawang sub-envelopes, no? The technical and the financial document. So, hindi pwedeng pagkaluin yung technical at saka yung financial. Ang main envelope kasi natin is isa lang. Tapos sa loob niya, may 3 sub-envelopes yung dalawang original at saka isang copy 1. Then sa loob naman ng 3 sub-envelopes natin, may dalawang sub-envelope, yung technical at saka yung financial. So ganun siya. So mauunang i-open yung technical for verification doon sa legal, technical, and financial, legal and technical aspect. Then, in comparison din doon sa CWA natin, pag may nag-ineligible doon. So, titingnan yung technical envelope, kung prove na updated, yung hindi updated doon sa CWA, tutuloy po tayo sa financial document. Kaya po pinaghihiwalay si technical at saka si financial document. So, understood yun. So, copy 1 of the same procedure lang, no? Then, certificate of PhilJEPS registration, particularly in civil works, should be a platinum membership and should not be expired unless otherwise it will result in disqualification. So, list of eligibility documents composed of DTI certificate, a mayor's permit, tax clearance, audited financial statement, and PCAB should be updated. Ito po yung sinabi ko na kanina na nandoon po sa ating Annex A ng ating platinum membership na PhilJEPS registration, no? So, ibabalidate, doon pa lang ibabalidate ng ating BACTWG. Pag may nag-expire doon, so meaning hindi natin na-update si PhilJEPS at saka maaaring hindi pa po na-update yung mga particulars doon na pwedeng i-versus natin doon sa CWA. In the case of the mayor's permit, especially during early procurement activity or end of the year, receipt for renewal of the SID permit is allowed as proof of renewal, but for other mentioned documents, it is a ground for disqualification once lacking or expired. So doon naman sa proof na nag-renew tayo, if ever hindi ta kaagad maibigay, but then prior sa pagbigay po ng notice of award, kailangan may presensya to make it valid. Okay? So, photocopy document should present their original document to the procurement unit for them to validate and be certified through copy by themselves also. So, hindi po pwede na yung CTC is manggagaling sa inyo. Kami po ang maglalagay ng CTC doon sa mga document ninyo. But, you have to present your original document as basis po namin para magiging genuine po yung document. So, like for example, yung business or mayor's permit, hindi naman natin ibibigay yung original copy. Photocopy lang siya. Yung tax clearance, audited financial statement, no? So, kailangan i-present po ninyo yung original, then i-CTC po namin. Yung PCAB is computer-generated naman ata, pati yung PhilJEPS, no? So, yun siya. So, if ever na photocopy yung natas natin, pakita niyo yung original. The firm is not allowed to CTC by itself because it would result to being a self-serving as observed and noted by the co-auditor part of their findings. Yung audited financial statement naman natin, formerly BIR stamp received or manually done. But currently, it is an electronic submission na po. So, nag-upgrade na rin po si BIR natin. So, may QR code na rin po sila or may pamamaraan na po sila through electronic submission. For pickup license, contractors under small a and small b will no longer be required as to their experience as long as with the required range and cost not exceeding 30 million. So documents are properly air-tagged according to the checklist attached during posting. Also, please fasten the document at the left side portion ready for blue binder compilation as per ISO requirement. Karagdagan, standard form should be followed. List of ongoing projects, SLCC, DO9 and DO58, series of 2012, DO11, series of 2017, and other standard forms. So, yun po siya. DO9 and DO58 is very significant po ito kasi kailangan naka-notarize, no? Ang format po niya ay kailangan mag-affix ng signature ang ating notary public. Then, ang DO9 naman at saka DO11 ay certification lamang po ito sila. So, ang kailangan nandun yung pirma, no? Hindi na kailangan manotarize. Pirma ng authorized na mag-signature po doon. Then DO 110 series of 2024. Ito po yung implementation ng ating ISO 9001-2015. Certification requirement for large A, medium B, medium A, and onwards, contractors in the procurement of infrastructure projects of the department. So meaning exempted lang po sa ISO certification requirement is yung small a at saka small b lang. The rest, kailangan na po ng ISO certification. Then, for joint venture projects, all ongoing projects of both bidder and contractor, kailangan pong mai-submit. The required attachment should be included while on SLCC, attachment lang po ng capable na partner ay enough na po. Hindi na kailangan yung dalawa na mga attachments. Yung capable lang po is enough na. But doon sa all ongoing projects, both the partner A and partner B, kailangan isumite po lahat ng mga attachments to prove na ito po yung mga dumaan sa kanila ng mga contracts, no? Declaration yun siya. Kasi part pa rin ng computation ng NFCC. Same criteria or requirements with sole proprietorship should be complied. So, GVA should also be notarized and nakakaroon po ng special pickup license. Secretary certificate for participating bidders with a corporation and CDA certificate for cooperatives which need to be notarized. Structural organization naman, mayroon tayong 5 key personnel, the project manager, the project engineer, the materials engineer, the safety officer, and the construction foreman. So itong 5, nangangailangan po ng TIN, part po ng requirement, at isasubmit po natin sa COA. Patungkol naman doon sa project manager, project engineer, at saka materials engineer, kailangan po iba't ibang personahe po ito, or different person. Kasi nire-require po ito sa CWA awarding natin. No, system po siya. So hindi po gagana at hindi tutuloy kung ma-detect po niya na may 2 function yung isang tao doon. Ito 3, particularly ito 3. So, minimum years of experience as posted in the ITB. So, pakitingnan na lang po yung Philippine bidding documents natin. Nakapalo po doon yung minimum years of experience na required. At saka yung certificate of accreditation should be updated, no, sa materials engineer at saka project engineer natin. So, nung una, MA lang po yung nire-require ng certificate of accreditation. Ngayon po, kasali na rin po si project engineer ng contractor natin or ng consultants. The PRC ID should be updated. So, itong MA at saka itong PE, may mga PRC ID din po sila bilang civil engineer. So, kailangan hindi po paso or expired. In cases where ME and PE of the contractor should be replaced during the implementation stage, as compared to the early declaration during bid opening, proper coordination and submission of request letter for change of personnel should be done by the winning contractor to have it evaluated and approved by the office. So, hindi lang po pwede na magpalit na lang kayo na hindi kayo nagpapaalam. Kasi po, ang na-pledge po ninyo during sa bid opening ay ito po ng mga personality. Then, here comes na nag-implement na po tayo ng project, umiba na po yung mga key personnel, so maaaring may magkakaroon ng kalituhan at during sa audit po na nagiging findings po siya. So, as much as possible, kailangan din po namin i-validate kung nagpalit po kayo ng mga tauhan ninyo, especially doon sa 5K personnels. Ma-inform po ang opisina kasi nga po during sa implementation stage, may mga construction logbook at saka materials logbook na kung saan andun po yung pangalan ng mga personnel ninyo na ginamit po ninyo during sa implementation stage. Sa pledge of equipment for the contract, minimum requirement for equipment should be followed with attached clear copy of updated ORCR the vehicles used. No? So, hindi naman po kailangan na paramihan ito, basta ma-hit mo lang yung minimum requirements, good na po tayo doon. As long as yung lahat na nakalista ng mga equipment ninyo mag-coincide doon sa mga attachments ninyo, yung proof of ownership or lease contract. So, lease contract should also comply with the required attachments, the ORCR of the vehicle in a clear copy. Then, also to inform na nagkakaroon na po ng QR code itong LTO natin. So, meaning, madidetect at malalaman po ng ating evaluator kung tama po yung mga declarations ng mga date, hindi tampered. So, doon pa lang sa QR code ay malalaman na po. As much as possible, all required equipments or tools in the list of minimum requirements for equipment as posted should be included in CAP, complying the said requirements to avoid confusion on the part of the TWG. So, hindi naman kayo nililimit, pero as much as possible, ma-hit lang po natin yung minimum requirements ay okay na po tayo doon. Sa financial document naman po, BOQ as posted should be followed. Yung item number, description, and quantity. Pag nagkaroon po ng discrepancy, pwedeng magiging grounds for disqualification po siya. Notices will be sent through email and courier if there were notice of ineligibility immediately, since we were required by the COA to submit the contract documents with the prescribed time. So, yun na po siya. Pag hindi po nagtugma doon sa CWA, sa result, pag may nag-fail doon or nag-expire, so, immediately mag-send po kami ng notice of ineligibility sa inyo para magkaroon po kayo ng motion for reconsideration. Then, if ever po napatunayan na yung physical document naman ninyo is okay, So, papasok po si request for unlocking doon sa CWA. So, as much as possible, pakicheck po ng mga particulars doon sa CWA. Baka po may malapit na magpasok. Sa gayon po, may iwasan na po natin na ma-delay, especially doon sa nabigyan po ng notice of lowest calculated bid para magiging responsive po tayo at ma-award po sa inyo yung project ay kung maaari walang nag-expire po doon sa mga particulars ng CWA. If ever po na may nag-expire after sa bid opening, which is allowed naman, during sa post-qualification stage, kailangan nyo pong isumite yung mga naturang requirement within 5 calendar days. 5 calendar days is different from 5 office days o office working days. So, kahit Sabado Linggo is counted po siya. So, pag nag-lapse po tayo doon sa 5 calendar days, ay pwede na po kayong ma-DQ. No requirements should be submitted within 10 calendar days as required. This also includes certification from the Insurance Commission or IC. So, bid bulletin. Ito. Kaya kailangan nating tingnan ulit yung ating PhilGIP's website at saka DPWH website. Kasi minsan nakakaroon po tayo ng mga amendments from the original posted sa advertisement natin. So, ang supplemental bid bulletin ay ito yung patungkol sa may mga pagbabago doon sa item number ba, quantity, or yung description, trabaho, or may idadagdag. Kaya nakakaroon tayo ng supplemental bid bulletin. At saka itong supplemental bid bulletin will be posted 7 calendar days prior to the bid opening. So, ibig sabihin, pag less than 7 calendar days na lang prior to bid opening, ay hindi na po tayo pwedeng makapag-supplemental bid bulletin. Ang mangyayari, kung halimbawa may ipapasok talaga at kailangan na amendments, sa gayon hindi po magkaroon ng discrepancy or kumpleto talaga yung project, dito papasok si bid bulletin. Meaning yung original scheduled date of bid opening ay mamumove po siya to give way doon sa 7 calendar days na kailangan para magkaroon ng supplemental bid bulletin. So meaning, halimbawa, 4 days na lang bago mag-bid opening na. So hindi na applicable sa supplemental bid bulletin. Para maging applicable siya, kailangan nating magkaroon ng bid bulletin. Meaning, i-move natin yung bid opening na originally scheduled. Then, kailangan may enough na time na maipasok yung 7 calendar days na posting natin sa supplemental bid bulletin. So, ibig sabihin, yung original days na 4 days na lang prior to bid opening ay magkakaroon siya ng plus 7 or plus 8. Sa gayon, may pasok pa po natin yung supplemental bid bulletin natin. So, ganoon po siya. So, kaya, napakahalaga po na kailangan matingnan natin yung PhilGIP's website at saka DPW's website. Nang sa gayon po, aware po tayo na may mga pagbabago po. And aside from that, pag hindi rin natin ay ilagay itong bid bulletin or supplemental bid bulletin is also a ground for disqualification. So, klaro po yun. Then, also, as per DEO 164 series of 2025, last year lang po ito, nagkaroon na po ng updated guidelines for the determination of major and similar categories of work and eligibility requirements for work experience, superseded DEO 117 series of 2017. So, ngayon, kung basehan pa rin ninyo is DEO 117 series of 2017, may mga pagbabago na po. So, baka hindi na po magtugma at yun po ang magiging dahilan na kayo po ay ma-disqualified. So, pakicheck mabuti yung DEO 164 series of 2025. May mga changes na po tayo at saka dito po malalaman kung pwede ba yung license ninyo na sumali o hindi. So, especially dito sa naka-highlight, EWC, RSD, ito ba yung particular doon sa mga LED po na component ng project, mga installation na gano'n. So, kailangan doon sa pickup pa lang mismo ay mayroon tayong electrical work. So, pwede tayo may part ng line of business natin na electrical work. Hindi lang building, hindi lang roads, So, yun siya. Then, yung major category niya is yun na pong bago, EWCRSD, at saka yung similar category niya is TEMS, So, pakicheck lang po itong DO na ito, nang sa gayon po ay properly guided po tayo. So far, yun lang Mr. Chair, and maraming salamat.
Thank you, Sir Alex. So, additional reminder, follow the pass-grade criterion. Missing one document with the checklist means automatic disqualification. Strongly encourage you to conduct site inspection to verify the appropriation. So the bid opening will be on August 4, 2026, exactly 10 o'clock. So late bids will not be accepted. So before we end, is there anyone concerned? Clarification? There is not. With 25 procurement projects having been presented and reported, there being no further matters to discuss, this meeting is hereby adjourned. Thank you and